So last night, Ahsoka's two episode premiere happened on Disney Plus last night.
Spoiler.
No, this is going to be a no spoiler discussion.
Can you spoil anything?
I think you can a little bit, but I mean, very barely.
You don't know what the hell is going on.
I mean, very barely you can spoil stuff. You could spoil some plot elements, but we're not going to do any of that. We're literally just going to talk about what we thought of the show, how well it was executed. I know for a lot of people, it was good. The number one complaint I heard was like the music was not memorable at all. But if you think about it, none of the Star Wars TV shows have had memorable music as far as like live action. None of them have had memorable music except for The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is the only show that's had really memorable music. Can anybody hum the Book of Boba Fett theme?
No.
The Obi-Wan theme? Anybody?
No.
Anybody?
I know the Book of Boba Fett thing because it was so funny. It sounded like somebody riffing on Boba Fett's name. Basically.
Right. Exactly. All right. So as the resident Star Wars guy, what'd you think of Ahsoka, the first 2 episodes? GQ.
The first 2 episodes, I was looking at Market 64. Yes, you could jump into the show. You should watch Rebels if you can before you jump in. That'll make some of the characters make more sense. Some of the references and stuff you're talking about. However, the show is structured in a way where if you're a competent viewer of any type of media, you'll know what's going on just from watching what's going on. You just might not know exactly who they're talking about, and you get those reveals as the show progresses. I enjoyed it. The production value is looking way above all of the other Star Wars shows that we've seen so far. I think they have mastered the volume as far as that place where that space that they film in, as far as making it look really, really good. There was only maybe one sequence that I remember from the first episode, actually near the end of the first episode, where it's like, oh yeah, they're still in that dome, and it's like liven up that background just a little bit more. But I mean, whatever. That's nitpicking. Turn your ringer off, man. Goodness, breaking all the rules, man. Breaking all of them. Anyway,
professionalism.
No, but overall, I enjoyed it. Both episodes were solid. They're doing great story building. The pacing is actually a lot better than a lot of the other shows that they've had. So I'm pleased with it so far.
Okay. Let's talk to Dido. What did you think of the first 2 episodes?
I quite loved it. And me being the person who did watch Rebels, I'm enjoying seeing where these characters are going, because for me, and I know a lot of people aren't there like that, when things that I like end, I'd like to watch more of it. That's why I never complain that there's too many episodes. Fuck that shit. I like it. I want to see as much as possible. And now there's more. It's basically a kind of a continuation, but the focus is on Ahsoka, where the other show, the focus was on the crew of the Ghost, Phantom, the Spectres. They were called. That was their That was the name of their code crew. Their code name was Spectre. Anyway, I want to see where they're going with it. I like the characters. I want to see more of the characters. But like everything that GQ said, looked amazing. It felt amazing. All of it felt like a Star Wars show that people complain about so much that this doesn't feel like Star Wars. Doesn't feel like Star Wars. Not all Star Wars has to taste like cherry pie, man. You get a friggin' apple pie in there once in a while. Still good. If you don't like apples, stop eating. Go choke yourself. No, I shouldn't say that. But it was. I liked it.
Yeah. So dare I ask if Amarak, if you've seen Ahsoka? Have you? Skip you. Okay, I will skip you. Yes, I'll skip you. What?
Guess what? I watched the first one today.
You watched the first one? Okay. Well, you can at least talk about the first episode.
Actually sit down. Yeah, no. First episode. Like, okay, so I was expecting this one to be, I don't want to say like low budget, but like not as high as in production value as like Mando. But it looked like, because this is one of those stories that came off of something else that like not everyone knew what was happening. So I'm just thinking, oh, okay, they're finishing out some story, fleshing out her character and all that shit. I didn't know it was going to be like this. The show looked really good. Like,
no, it did.
Pacing nice, lighting and all that shit. It was great.
Nice.
I learned some things. I got a little bit confused on some of the timing, but aside from that, without watching Rebels or enough of Rebels, I was able to follow what was happening, which made me happy while I was at work.
Okay. All right. and
Hakeem
Fallen.
highlighted a message real quick.
Yeah, no. So you haven't seen it yet either? You haven't seen it yet, Fallen?
No.
Okay.
No, I waited.
Right.
So
Okay.
like I was
You
going
wait.
to check it out for
Real quick, Takeem highlighted a message saying that
Harrison Dula is a twilf. Like,
What the
okay.
hell is a twilf?
So
Twi'lek,
do we really need to spell this out for you?
a Twi'lek that you'd like to
No, I'm messing with y'all.
I was gonna say, do we
you
really
like
need to
eat
spell this out for
fungus
you?
with.
Take away your Star Wars.
Right, exactly. Do we really need to spell this out for you? He puts the apology for the other half in the chat. I love that. You better wait for me to watch the next episode. Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, he in trouble.
Uh-oh,
He in trouble.
you're in trouble.
Oh, he in trouble.
Hold on. But that's why he had them lights out.
Right. He was watching on the download. He was like,
He had that
Yeah.
volume low.
Mm-hmm, right, exactly. Anyway, so no, I watched it. I have to follow along. I thought the introduction of the antagonist, the late Ray Stevenson's Balin,
R.I.P.
was really well done. I also like the little nods to both old Star Wars, like the original trilogy, and even Rebels. You saw what's his name?
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. Saw Clancy
Reprising
Brown
his character.
reprising his character from Rebels. I thought that was a nice touch.
That senator was also reprising a character from Rebels.
Yes.
He had met Ezra when they
Yeah.
were both went to the Empire Academy.
Yeah.
And Ezra went undercover. That's somebody he met while he was there.
So the guy that he brought up when Sabine.
Yeah, when
Okay.
Sabine didn't.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the other thing I wanted to point out is the return of Home One. We haven't seen Home One since Return of the Jedi.
True.
Which I thought it was pretty cool to see Home One. We haven't seen. I mean, that's one of them, kind of really super nerdy, Easter egg things. It's like, oh man, it's Home One. It's like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You see him sitting in the same room where they had the briefing for the Death Star, or the second Death Star run and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, this is cool. So but Ahsoka I thought was really, really well done. I really liked also, for me, and you guys may or may not agree, I really thought that as opposed to when we first saw her as Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson clearly studied Ahsoka's mannerisms from all of the animated series, because she was doing a lot of her body language and a lot of her stuff, and even the cadence of how she talks a lot better in this show than she was doing in previous appearances. So I thought that was really, really cool. And
homework. That's all I like to see.
so Double Girls just gifted a sub to Hannah Omega, which is nice.
Awesome.
Appreciate that.
Hey, nice.
Appreciate that.
Another thing I noticed about it was the opening was a parallel to the opening of Phantom Menace. Like, as far as the
Yes.
two Jedi
Yes.
showing up to a ship,
Yes.
wrecking shop, basically.
You're right. No, you're right.
He seemed like to me like Nega Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
Because he had like the cadence and like the freaking like not stature, how would you say, like
Presence.
not cadence.
Presence.
Of like Obi-Wan, but like not good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like just like
I
if
think I
Obi-Wan
would
was-
say Qui-Gon, to be honest. Well,
No.
Qui-Gon was a little bit more
I mean
chill.
old Obi-Wan, not
Yeah,
young
yeah,
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
like if Alec Guinness was evil.
Exactly, because instead
Yeah.
of just we're here on blah blah blah, he's like, let me show you my
Yeah, it's like, it's open for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like that.
Exactly.
Again, I'm so it sucks that he's gone, because he's always, every role Ray Stevenson was in, he freaking owned it. Punisher owned it.
Yeah.
Freaking what's his name? Volstagg.
Volstagg.
Owned
Yeah.
it. It's like, dude has been good in everything. And it's just like, damn, I would have
Yeah.
loved to see his character in this. Now, granted, his character might get killed by the end of the series. Who
right.
knows? I would love to see more of his character, though. His character is really cool.
Yeah.
I like the concept of it.
Because I think it would have been great had he not passed away. And you're right. We don't know what's going to happen to his character by the end of the show, right? They may have intended for him to be part of that Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Mandalorian crossover movie that Dave Filoni's doing.
Right.
Which, I have to admit, the more we see, the more excited I'm getting for that when that finally does come out.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Again, when she showed up in Book of Boba Fett, man, it was just like, whoa, you got Luke, Ahsoka, Boba
Yeah.
Fett, Mandalorian, like all in the same
Yes.
show. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.